Right, this is Liberty stock number 49150, which is a DCM PDG-5-3 PLC vertical spindle rotary surface grinder. It's actually a punch and die grinder. Serial number 464620, new 2002. Right?
Yeah, it's small enough. Take a look around. Guards are all up. We'll drop them. Motor, indicator. Not much going on this side here. Are these for wheels down there? Is that
it's
what
for
that is?
wheels.
I just thought of that. I just noticed that. Yeah. And yeah, filtration back here for the pump system that's inside. When we come around the front, we can show it. Back side of the motor, servo drive, step motor actually, for the feed system. I'm not plugged in. That's for the coolant pump down here. And my three-phase coming in, which is currently wired, configured for 480. Up high, again, step motor, the hand wheel, yeah, the lock. We'll play with everything. We'll drop the guards and move some stuff around. Oh, we can open up the electric panel, but while I'm doing that, a couple fixtures on the floor, circular chuck, the 3-jaw, and of course the surface plate, magnetic, manual magnetic, but yeah, they're nice. And that all goes with the machine. A couple of pads to put the machine on, and the electrics. As you can see, I'm under power already. Main transformer, power supply, and that's the important one right there for the drive for the stepper motor. Oh, and don't forget, you get the PLC up in here? Mm-hmm. It's kind of neat. It's user settable from what I can see, only for the dwell. I played around with it. It was on 20 seconds. I lowered it to 5 seconds. So once the cycle finishes, it'll sit there and dwell. You can barely see it on the LCD, but you can sit there and dwell for a few seconds. That's changeable. That's user changeable. And there are a couple pots here too. I don't have the book, and I didn't play with the trim pots. It's for step up and step down. I'm just using the one out here for feed rate, but you can trim those. They kind of work in conjunction with this guy out here. So again, oil is up on this, which is good. This is all for the table here. And like I said, I can go over the switches here real fast. Yeah, on, off, stop for everything, head up, down, grinder, and table is the only two things that run on this machine. Auto cool, manual cool, off, on. Auto feed, I press that button, the feed cycle takes off until it zeroes out. We can't do anything on the spindle load because I have no load. I'm not running a part, and I can play with that. That's the feed rate. That's the interval basically, and how often and how fast it feeds. That said, we drop the gates here. This all opens up, of course. This opens up, and we don't leave that one. This one drops. And we've got head. I'm open already. I left it open. We're not grinding, so this one will move back and forth quite easily. The indicator works nice. It's all in good shape here. Coolant, of course. Rotary union up top for the internal coolant, which comes inside the stone there, which is nice to have. It feeds it right down through the center of the motor. And then back up here is the feed, motorized or manual, of course, on the hand wheel. So I don't play with that too much. It's much easier with the toggle switch back here. And I think I'm under power here. And there's head up right here just to show that. Just moving right along. Works good. Go down a little bit. It does have an upper limit. I took it up all the way and stops on its own. So there's a limit switch in there somewhere, I guess. I don't have a schematic in front of me, but and this all drops with the gate, of course. Get it down a little bit and leave it there. And I guess we can just leave the motor right about center here a little bit. Lock it up a little. Valves are off. They don't matter. We're not running water. That said, I can jog the table. Then we can run the motor. Here's table jog. As long as this is on stop, you're in jog mode. If it's on, then it's maintained. So table jog. I'm pretty sure that's a fixed speed. I don't know if you can play with that inside the panel or not, but we got that. And then of course grinder. I'd have to flip it on to keep it on. We did head up down. I'm sorry. Manual cool. The light comes on, and that's just the 110 plug I'm turning on. So that said, I could turn on the grinder, turn on the table. And after it's all up and running, I can set the dial to whatever I want here. We'll take off maybe 10 or 15 thousandths, and then I hit auto feed. As long as that light is on, it feeds very slowly, depending on where I've got this feed rate set at. And then it's kind of cool, I guess it's built in through the PLC. Again, I don't have the documentation in front of me, but when it hits 0, it goes through its dwell cycle, and then after it dwells, it backs up a few tenths at a time for about 10 or 15 seconds, and then it rapids out maybe 20 thousandths. So you'll kind of see that on the dial, but bear with me and watch it. When it sits on 0, it's moving back up very, very slowly, a little bit at a time. So I won't be able to talk over it maybe. So I'm going to throw this on, table maintained, and of course grinder on now. And I'll bring the dial around to, I don't know, 10 or 15 thousandths maybe. I went the wrong way, oh well. Here we go. I can move it wherever I want, even during the cycle. So we're at 20 here, and we're about mid-range on the feed dial. At this point, all I really have to do is hit auto feed, and we're feeding. At this point, you really can't see much, but if you come up in here, you got to kind of watch it, I think. It's taking off. Looks like to be about 1.5 thousandths at a time. And now if I can slow that down a little bit. I just backed off on the pot maybe 25%. Now it's kind of sitting there. I let it find itself there. Okay, now it's going to wait. It's going to wait. It's going to wait. It's going to wait. Yeah, see, I dialed it way down, so it's going to feed every 10 seconds. Now I'm going to dial it up to about 75% here on the pot. Now we're going to pick up speed a little bit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, about 3 seconds. That's at 75%. At 0 is when we stop. I'm going to dial it up a little bit faster, about 90%. This can be moving a little bit quicker now, see? So we'll leave it right there until we hit 0. Start backing off. If you can hold it real still, it's hard to see, but it starts backing up a little bit at a time. I think that's built into the control. There it goes. I think it'll do that 2 or 3 times after the spark out, and then wrap it out 10 thousandths and shut down. Backs out 20. It's probably adjustable off those pots down there, I'm not sure, but it's a basic cycle, and it gets off the part really nice. I mean, I like the way it works, so I'm sure a lot of that can be tweaked a little bit once it gets on the customer's floor.